Does Kate Middleton come from a rich family? Hey guys, today we're going to know if Kate Middleton came from a rich family. Let's get right into it. Kate Middleton is widely regarded as one of the few middle-class members of the royal family. Let's take a look and see if that's the case. The press hummed with breathless excitement about the commoner who would be queen in 2007, as speculation mounted that Prince William would propose to his long-term girlfriend, Catherine Middleton. When the engagement was announced in 2010, British newspapers declared that Kate Middleton would be our first middle-class queen since Anne Boleyn. Many people were skeptical of the comparison, at first on Anne's behalf. If Anne Boleyn were alive today and born under similar circumstances, she would not be eligible to wave a "We Are the 99% placard. Boleyn's father was the head of a family with multiple homes scattered across England, and he was the presumed heir to his Irish grandfather, the Earl of Ormond, though a messy family lawsuit caused a 14-year delay between the old man's death and Thomas donning his coronet. Anne Boleyn was born in the same family as some of the 20th century's great London socialites, such as Edith, Marchioness of Londonderry, and Deborah, Duchess of Devonshire, the former daughter of a mere Mr. Chaplin, and the latter of Lord Redesdale, a country squire. Anne Boleyn, peeping out from the pages of the 20th century high society gossip magazines like Tatler, enthusing about the radiant Miss Boleyn, or as she grew older, the horrible Anne Boleyn, youngest daughter of Lord Rochford, lovely in a gown by, is a counterfactual flight of amusing and frivolous fantasy, but it does highlight the fact that, by the standards of their day, Henry VIII's second wife, unless they were saddled with an adjective like vivacious, which was a polite way of saying enormous, but good for a giggle, mid-century debutantes were always described as a variant of radiant. In retrospect, Kate Middleton's comparison was equally inaccurate. In British terms, she is classified as middle class because she was not born into old, landed, patrician wealth. In American terms, however, judging the Duchess's background solely on her family's economic position changes the picture dramatically. Catherine Middleton's parents were self-made millionaires, and she attended one of the country's top private boarding schools. To the British ear, Her Royal Highness's accent, and accents are a closeted national obsession, proclaims a privileged background. In 2010, comparisons to Anne Boleyn were a foreshadowing of where the story might go. Historians have traditionally been critical of Anne Boleyn's origins, claiming she was a girl who climbed like ivy, an ambitious adventurer who gambled in a game she had no business playing and paid the ultimate price for daring to transcend the preordained limitations of her background. At first, some British publications did the same thing with Miss Middleton. There were mocking captions on photos of her mother Carol chewing gum, and there were criticisms of the Middletons' etiquette. There was even a story, almost certainly a fantasy, that the Queen's eldest daughter, Princess Anne, refused to curtsy to Catherine after the wedding because she refused to accept that someone born in the middle classes should be curtsied to by the Princess Royal. Rumours later circulated that the Queen was irritated by the déclassée Carol Middleton's presence in Prince George's nursery. That particular bit of sarcasm was widely dismissed as nonsense in Britain, completely at odds with the Queen's worldview, but it gained some traction on international talk shows. However, the worm quickly turned. Such snobbery was either dismissed or sharply criticised. Rather than jeopardising her prospects or popularity, as it might have done half a century ago, the Duchess of Cambridge's ancestry was initially used to foster a vague sense of continuity with her immediate predecessors as consorts, usually popular figures like Princess Diana or Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, both native-born commoners. Both were Earl's daughters, but let's not get too bogged down in the details. Catherine would carry the torch of long-term dignity and spousal support that the country associated with the Queen Mother, as well as Diana's unstuffy charisma and charitable good works. It is pointless to claim that the Duchess of Cambridge is disliked and despised by the vast majority of her husband's future subjects. That she was born into a family of hard-working entrepreneurs and then married a man who will one day be the custodian of a legacy that can be traced back to the Dark Ages saints and warriors are two remarkable facts in the life of a graceful and, by all accounts, profoundly kind young woman. But to quote one piece from 2007, she was not a middle-class rose. Catherine's origins are reworked in Mike Bartlett's recent play, King Charles III, to suggest a gutsy and determined social climber, which was described as an attack on the Duchess by certain sections of the British press, but viewed as a point in the character's favour by many American reviewers. That is perhaps most clearly demonstrated by the idea of Catherine Middleton as middle class. Nothing to do with the Duchess in and of itself, but rather than Britain's evolving perception of class and the differences in views on either side of the North Atlantic. Since 2011, debate over the first middle-class queen since Anne Boleyn has waned, giving rise to the rather refreshing view that the Duchess and her actions are more important. In short, where she's going is far more important than where she comes from. That is a wonderful American phrase to describe what I believe will be a long, prosperous royal career for the Duchess of Cambridge. That's all for today, and we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.